From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight.
Hello and welcome. I am Olumide Macaulay. Tonight, a rejuvenated President Goodluck Jonathan returns to the country. The President says he has recovered from his ailment and will resume work immediately. The National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, raises an alarm, says 1.5 million Nigerians living with HIV/AIDS do not know their status. The Joint Task Force, JTF, in the Niger Delta dismantles the militant camp in the Bakassi local government area of Cross River State. And the U.S. says Iran's nuclear program deal will make Israel and the Middle East a safer place. Thank you for joining us. We begin in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital territory, with the cheery news that Nigeria's #1 citizen, President Goodluck Jonathan, has returned home fully recuperated from an ailment which afflicted him while on an official visit to the United Kingdom. The president, who arrived at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport at about 7 p.m. today, told State House correspondents that he is recovered and can resume work immediately. The president adds that he is grateful to Nigerians for the show of love to him following his birthday and the health challenges he had while attending the HIIC meeting in London, and that as a political office holder, he is not surprised at the criticism that trailed his health challenges. He, however, said that the meeting with the G7, which was scheduled for tonight, will be rescheduled.
The concern showed by Nigerians and the love, and we thank God that I'm very okay to resume work, I believe, from this night.
Yeah, but it attracted so much criticism.
Expect that when you're holding a political office as the president of a country or a governor of a state, anything that affects you creates a lot of apprehension. So if that the president is sick alone, even if you don't know the ailment, definitely it causes apprehension.
G7 governors.
Tonight, no, I don't think I'll be able to meet. I'll be able to hold any meeting tonight. 6 hours flight is quite a distance. Of course, also following from my health challenges, I think the meeting will be rescheduled, but we'll meet within the week. I don't know. I'm just coming in. But I believe within the week we'll be able to meet.
Who believe that your meeting with them is not yielding any fruits, that some of them are already deep in the enemy's council? Do you share this school of thought?
It's in politics, it's all about discussions. In politics, it's all everything about politics. So we belong to the same political parties, or even people from different political parties engage in discussions. And political discussions is a continuous process. Even during elections, people discuss. So we continue to discuss.
Excellent. The aviation minister issue is still very hot. What is the position? Have they submitted the report to you, sir? And how soon are we going to talk about it?
Then when I said yes, they have submitted the report.
Yes, were you pleased with the performance of your ministers while you were indisposed in the UK?
Ministers how?
You delegated to perform at the HICC.
Well, all of them performed. I think there's some kind of misconceptions. The Honorary International Investors Forum meet 2 times a year. One time in Nigeria and one time outside Nigeria. Most cases London. Sometimes the last time I think it was France and so on. Ministers are not meant to sit throughout the period. Ministers are meant to go and make presentation, even in Nigeria. The only person the minister that normally sits throughout is the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment that warehouses the HIIC. Some ministers don't normally sit for 2 days. In one day you may not even see a minister if the minister is meant to make a presentation on the second day. So it's not that from beginning to the end for the 2 days you expect all the ministers. Yes, I read from some of the stories of perception. Oh, the Minister of Communication Technology was not there on Thursday. The Minister of Petroleum was not there on Thursday. They were not meant to make presentation on Thursday. they appeared on Friday and they made their presentation. Even in Nigeria, I even study more because it's a group that advises the president. If I'm not there, the vice president takes over.
In health, the Director General, National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Professor John Idoko, has appealed to Nigerians to know their HIV/AIDS status as a means of curbing the scourge of the virus. Professor Idoko made the appeal at the Presbyterian Church, Abuja, where a special service was held to kickstart this year's World AIDS Day. He said out of 3.5 million people living with the virus in Nigeria, 1.5 million of them need urgent treatment.
In this country, we have said, as part of that getting to zero, that our team, our sub-team for our country is knowing your status. And that's very, very important because it is estimated that almost 40% of Nigerians who are HIV positive don't know their status. And that means that unknowingly they will be transmitting this infection to their partners, to their wives. But I can tell you that of the 3.5 million people, 1.5 require urgent treatment. But as a country, we are only able to treat 600,000. So the rest, we are not treating. Nothing happens, are going to die. So that's not a good story for us. One other thing that has come from treatment has also been that we also know that apart from keeping the individual alive, his family alive, his community alive, that it helps us to break the cycle of transmission within the community.
As the Director General, National Agency for the Control of AIDS, John Idoko. To politics now, and as the countdown to Anambra supplementary elections begin, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, is insisting that its candidate for the polls, Chief Willie Obiano, will win any future election in the state. Reacting to threats of a boycott of the supplementary election by other candidates, as well as calls for the cancellation of the November 16 election, the National Secretary of APGA, Alhaji Sani Ahmed Shinkafi, said that the party is entrenched in the state. He added that the protesting candidates did not win enough votes to warrant any threats to the party's supremacy in the state.
Any day, any time the election is cancelled, APGA will still carry the day. Let me remind you, PDP won only 2 local government, Dunukofia and Oyi. Dunukofia is in Central, well, Oyi is in the Anambra North Territorial District. They only won 2 local government. When Ingige, who became third, only won 2 local government, Idemili North, Idemili South. Labour only won in Inewi South, 1 local government. So if you look at it, even if the election is being cancelled, you will now use your psychology and see that APGA has is more on the ground in Anambra than all these political parties. So if the election is always going to be conducted, if ANA will conduct election today, APGA will win today. If ANA will conduct election tomorrow, APGA will still win tomorrow. If ANA will also conduct election next year, APGA will still win that election.
The National Secretary of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Sani Shinkafi. Meanwhile, as APGA displayed optimism on emerging victorious at the Saturday supplementary polls, analysts are of the opinion it may not go exactly as the ruling party envisaged. On our political program, Politics Today, experts share their views on APGA's stance on the Saturday election.
However, we are talking about 113,000 votes here. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Now, if you take 113 votes and put to the Warriors 94,000 votes, I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician, but I'm sure that is more than 170,000 votes. Am I right there?
You're right.
So in that case, you cannot say we are certain, because anything could happen on 30th. Same thing, if you take 113,000 votes and add to Chris Ngigo's 92,000 votes, it's more than 170,000 votes, right? If you have more votes than the man who has the better coverage, you have a runoff. We want to ensure that the conduct of security officials who have been deployed to maintain law and order during election behave in professional manner. Those are the things that we look out for. So the boast of the political parties will remain in the reign of the kind of work that they are able to do on the ground.
Analysts on our program Politics Today speaking on the the Anambra supplementary elections. Elsewhere, the Nasarawa state government has promised to finance the state infrastructural deficit with the 20 billion naira bond raised in the capital market. Governor Tanko Al-Makura announced the plan during a working visit to Akwanga local government, where he inspected urban roads and power projects in the state. According to the governor, the facility will be invested in projects that have the capacity to repay the loan over time for the overall development of the state.
Infrastructural development and urban renewal are some of the challenges confronting Nasarawa State, considering its prime location to the Federal Capital Territory. Governor Tanko Al-Makura has taken up the challenge of addressing the problems since assuming office.
First of all, we are planning a 60-bed sophisticated hospital that will have all kinds of units that will add value to the quality of health of the people. Secondly, we are providing a sophisticated market that will have close to about 300 to 500 shops, where well-planned markets that will be locked up. Besides that, we are also thinking of putting the Chumades Palace in the place that it deserves, within the center of the town, side by side with what we call the e-library that we intend to put in Akwanga. These are all part of what we call the city upgrade and urban renewal this administration would want to embark upon before end of the year. A project that are likely to generate revenue to pay the loan back. The market, the hospital, and other projects are going to be financed by these bonds and loans, which total of it across the state is about 20 billion.
Some public buildings like the Akwanga Education Office and Agric Scheme are to give way for the construction of Chumada Palace and the 60-bed hospital to enhance the state's healthcare delivery.
With such wonderful prized land within a very attractive area, to leave only 3 people occupying when we have projects that will increase add value to the quality of life of people.
Governor Makura also inspected the power substation in Akwanga for electricity supply to Lafia, the state capital.
Megawatts more that we can push to Lafia. So that one can manifest within the next couple of months. But the other capital, structures that are coming up might take another 12 months.
The 3 senatorial zones of Lafia, Kefi, and Akwanga will benefit from the 20 billion naira urban renewal drive by Governor Tanko Al-Makura.
You're watching the news at 10. In part 2 after the break, the Joint Task Force, the JTF in the Niger Delta, dismantled a militant camp in the Bakassi local government area of Cross River. Please stay with us.